Oh, another day, another truck to lower. Today, I got this unit, and it is a sweet one. I believe it's a 70. I don't know quite as much about these as I do the square bodies, but this belongs to my buddy Michael Larissy. This is the 4th or 5th one of these I've done for him. I don't know where he keeps finding these things, but man, he keeps finding them. Today is Sunday. Next week is Thanksgiving, and then starting Thanksgiving Day, Thursday through Sunday, is Daytona Beach Turkey Rod Run. Michael wants his truck done. So he ordered all the parts, do a 4-6 drop on it, and he's got a new set of wheels in the back that we're gonna throw on it. Truck runs and drives good, stops good. I mean, everything works on it like it should. Got a original small block in it. Let me turn this thing around and show you a little bit about the truck. So he's got a set of C10 replica wheels. The rears are supposed to be 20 by 10s with a 315 tire. I hope they fit. They should fit, but then the fronts are probably 8.5s or 9s. I'm not sure. I'll look when I get them out. Got boxes of parts, CPP parts. Got drop spindles, coils for the front. The rear, he actually thought this truck had trailing arms on it, and he ordered the drop kit. And then when he got there to pick it up, it's actually a leaf spring truck. So we're just gonna build him a flip kit for it and put a notch in it, and he should be good there. And we're also converting it to 5-lug. It is a 6-lug truck now. So he's got the disc brakes for the front. This truck still got drums on it, so we're gonna convert it to disc and change the axles in the back, new brake drums back there, and get this thing sitting nice and low for him so he can go cruise around in Daytona next weekend.
Best to give me your loyalty. Best to give me your loyalty. Cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty.
That took way longer than it should have. Chandler. On a 67 to 72 Chevrolet, all the way to the left is accessories. So the battery, was dead this morning. All right, so I'm gonna give you a little info on these wheels. These are Coys. They're called a C10 XL Rally. The fronts are 20 by 8.5, 5-on-5 lug pattern, 5 1/4 back spacing. Tire size is a 245 40 20. The rear ones right here are a 20 by 10, 5-on-5 pattern, 5.5 inches of back spacing. Rear tires are a 315 35 ZR20, and that sun gun is massive. I might have to put a set name on the back of my red C10. I like that. All right, so I'm gonna show you the front kit. First thing, we got some Beltec Nitro Drop 2s, part number 8005 for the front of this truck. Got a set of CPP 2-inch drop coils for that, and then CPP, the rest of it comes from CPP. 2.5-inch drop spindle, and then we're doing the disc brake setup. They send the, oh, my gimbal did not like that angle. They send the backing plates to go with it, new rotors, all the bearings, brake lines, everything that you need to install it, and new calipers. So we're gonna start with the front and get started. All right, so this all OG right here. Everything's original, covered in dirt, grease, whatnot. Michael said the brakes was just redone in 2019, so about 4 years ago. Hadn't had very many miles on it, so I hope that everything comes apart pretty easy. We'll find out here in just a few minutes. So we can dig in. Well, this is going well. First bolt I tried to take loose. Had to cut it in half with the cutoff wheel, just to get the shock off. So got in there and cut the head of it off and got it out. If this is the indication of the rest of it, it's gonna be a fun one. Alright, so we're still clicking along, making a freaking mess, but we're getting it. We got the new 2-inch drop coil in there. Make sure it sits up in the pocket. It gets real small at the top. Goes up over the spring pocket. Got the spindle on. Fix to get the grease out. Pack this with grease. Put the dust cover on. Get ready to put the rotors on. And yeah, getting closer. And dirtier. Alright, so I run into my first problem with everything fitting. This brake line, I put it in, but the old brake line is a different size. So I took the new brake line and I cut the end of the old brake line off, went to the parts store, dug around till I found this, which is a 3/16 to 1/4 inch brake line adapter. I don't see a part number on it anywhere. Oh wait, there it is, sorry. And that lets me go from the 3/16 to the 1/4 inch on the new brake line. And hopefully that will save you the aggravation of having to go to the parts store and dig through stuff like I did, and will fix your problem. So we got the disc brakes on, calipers is on, all that's tight, brake lines is on. We had to put this adapter fitting in there I was talking about, put it on. Nitro Drop 2s, part number 8005. And all we got left is to put the steering back up, and when I get done with the other side, we'll put the sway bar back on. But finally, it's been hours out here fighting dirt and bolts that didn't want to come out, and but we got this side done. I had to change the bolt in the bottom. You saw I cut that off. Went over there and just found one that was the right length, but the only difference is I put a lock nut on there. That's what I had. The other one had just a regular nut on it. Other than that, it's just like it was. The only thing I really ain't crazy about is this brake line, because I could see it getting up there like that eventually. But I mean, you can pull it down, it stays there. I guess after some time it'll kind of form itself to that shape right there. But I ain't real crazy about that. But all right, get the steering back on and get started on the other side. All right, it's the next day, back out here on this white, I believe it's a 69, it may be a 70. I need to look and find that out. I done told y'all a different year every time, I think. But what I'm working on right now is the master cylinder. This truck's manual brake truck. This master cylinder that's on it is designed to work with drum brakes all the way around. We don't have that anymore. We have a disc in the front because we fancy. So I just went to the parts store and got a, let me find a part number. It is a part number NMC11339. That is a factory replacement master cylinder for a 72 C10, because all 72s came with disc brakes in the front, I think. Pretty sure. Anyway, so this is the replacement master cylinder. It's supposed to bolt straight on. It's been a while since I've done one. I think it does. I don't remember having a bunch of trouble with that. So we're going to get this one off. We're going to make sure this one fits. The threads and the brake lines, make sure it fits. If it doesn't, we're going to pull it back off real quick, go over to the bench bleed it. So that it doesn't take 9 hours to bleed the brakes. And then once we get it on, today's Monday, my kid's out of school. She's inside watching a movie right now. So I'm going to con her into coming outside and pumping the brake pedal 4,000 times. And yeah, once we get that done, we can put the new wheels on. Michael brought me over some lug nuts this morning. He forgot to leave lug nuts when he dropped the truck off. So he brought me some lug nuts over, dropped those off. We finally get to see these new wheels on the truck, or at least on the front. I'm ready, because I like them dudes right there. All right, enough talking. Got to get back to work. She was getting a vacation day. She fitting to wear them legs out pumping.
That looks like it leg muscles.
Yeah, leg muscles. We're not going to try to bleed the back brakes right this minute. We're going to do these front ones while I got the wheels off. Get those bled out. I'm going to start on the other side and let her pump, and we'll eventually get it. Hopefully. You ready?
No. I was just laying on the couch watching a movie with Doggy.
All right, here we go. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. There you go.
Oh, you listen quick.
How much pedal you got? Stiff?
And now it ain't going all the way down no more.
That's good. Maybe,
That's like the shortest. We're probably not even.
well, this side was really easy. The other side took about 10 minutes. Not really. Took about,
Like 3.
yeah, 2 minutes. All right. See if them brakes will work long enough to get turned around. You got it, girl? Mm-hmm. All right, let's do the other one. So these caps don't fit around these things just right. So we just pulled the caps off, put the lug nuts on, and then put the caps back over. I didn't want to skin them up with the socket. So, all right, moment of truth. What you think? Think it's gonna be too low?
He might just not get it back.
Oh, he gonna get it back. Oh, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Yes. Perfect. It actually could stand to go a little bit lower, but once we drive it, it'll probably settle. So, well, believe it or not, 6 out of the 8 bed bolts actually came out. I didn't think any of them was gonna come out because they look pretty rough, but for them other 2, I love you, old girl. So I don't know if I mentioned this already. I can't remember. But this is actually not a trailing arm truck. It's got leaf springs on it. Back when these trucks were new, Chevrolet had trailing arms and GMC had leaf springs. But both of those were options on the opposite truck. So Chevrolet, you could order it with leaf springs like this. And the GMC, you could order it with trailing arms like the Chevrolet came with. Me personally, I like the trailing arm ride. Man, they ride outstanding. I actually haven't drove this truck, so it may ride outstanding too. But it's still got the original coil shocks on it. Man, this truck was, besides aftermarket exhaust and, you know, hell, I think that's it. Just aftermarket exhaust. This truck was about 100% stock. Looks like there's been some motor work done to it. But as far as suspension, man, everything's straight from 1969. I've got a C-notch kit for this truck. I'll put it on, and then I'm going to build him a flip kit. It was kind of funny because when Michael ordered all the drop kit for this truck, he was assuming that because it was Chevrolet, it had trailing arms. And then he called me when he picked the truck up, freaking out. Man, this truck's got leaf springs on it. And I was like, well, we build you a flip kit for it. Ain't no problem. So I went and got some axle purchase today, and we're going to get this thing jacked up. I'm probably going to do the notch first while the rear end's out of the way, and then get these leaf springs out, get them flipped over, get the purchase in, figure out what I'm going to have to do about U-bolts, because I don't know if these U-bolts are going to be reusable. Well, I know they're not, because one of them over there is almost rusted into. But getting U-bolts to work with it, and we'll figure all that out as we go. Shouldn't be too bad. These trucks pretty simple. So next thing we got is this bolt-in C-notch kit. I believe it was CPP brand also. Got the frame cut out right here for it. The directions say to put the front edge of this plate right at the back of this hole. So I stuck it up there, marked it up, drew me some lines around. I'm going to grind the frame real good. I'm going to stick that up there, and instead of bolting it in, I'm going to weld it in. I always weld these things when I can. And get it good and welded, and go on to the other side. I got it all mocked up and tacked up. We're going to weld this guy in. They don't fit amazing, but they do fit pretty good. So that ain't no problem. We'll get that welded up. I'm gonna weld here and on the back side and here. I cut it a little wide so I can get a good weld in there, and it'll be welded pretty much all the way around, and that baby ain't ever going nowhere. Still waiting on that sponsorship, Red Bull. Sure would be nice. All right, got my notches in, done that first, got them welded all the way around, both sides, painted black where they won't rust. Now I'm gonna build him a flip kit. So I just I usually go to Down to Earth, which is a trailer plant here in town that builds, car trailers and stuff, and get these spring purchased. But I had to go Track Supply and get some dog food this morning, and I just walked over to see if they had any. And they have a spring pad set for 5,000 pound axles, or 5,200 pound axles, 3-inch round tube. These were $22. All right, and they literally fit perfect. So what I'm gonna do is clean the bottom of this axle tube up. These are gonna go under there, and they're going to sit over that. Except when you buy a flip kit, you know the hole is offset. So we're gonna drill a hole in this about halfway between this hole and the end, just to offset that axle back just a little bit, and make sure that you know, drive shaft's not pushed too far into the transmission. We also don't want the wheel's not centering the fender well. So we're gonna pick that up and see kind of where we at with that. And I'll be honest, I may end up trying it with this hole and putting some U-bolts around it to hold it in place and compress the springs just to see where the rear end lines up in the notch, because that notch is in the right spot where the axle needs to be lowered. So I don't want it too far back or too far forward. So we may mock it all up, because I haven't done a ton of these this way. Usually they're trailing arm and coil spring, and you know, we do them that way. But I've built a bunch on square bodies. My red one over there, I built it same way. And I know kind of what to do to make those work, but these, I just don't, there ain't a whole lot of these running around. So we're gonna experiment with it a little bit, and I'll let you know what we come up with. All right, so what did we learn, kid? Nothing? Okay. All right, so we got the shocks on, Beltec part number 8508. They went right on. I was kind of worried that they was going to be for the trailing arm suspension. They wasn't going to work, but they did indeed work. Good job. Got the exhaust. I had to cut the exhaust out of the way because it was actually right where the rear end is now, and there's not even any weight on it. Also, there's a bump stop bracket on this rear end that was right here. It had a big old gigantic bump stop on it. I don't see the bracket. There it is. Had to cut it off with Sawzall so that it didn't hit the front of the notch. And we got the rear end that's centered in the notch as you're gonna get it. And we did indeed drill a hole halfway between the hole that come in it and the front, and that put it exactly where it needed to be. I tried it without drilling the hole, and I got one side sitting in the perch, and this side wouldn't go because the drive shaft was bottomed out in the transmission. All right, so we'll finish tightening the shocks, run the taillight wiring harness back through, mount this brake line again. I had to take it loose so I could cut the frame, and tighten the leaf spring bolts, and the rear suspension will be done. And then I got to put the other arms under it and pick it up so that I can do the 5-lug swap, so I can change the axle and all, which I have to do now because I sold his factory wheels a while ago, and now I can't put them on to move it. So I have to convert it to 5-lug before I can even move it. Yeah, go me. It's okay though, 'cause, we're gonna get it. Are you having fun?
No, watch.
I'm watching.
Hold on,
You gonna clean this mess up?
I'm gonna throw in.
And there's a mess. Goodness. That was my foot. That was my foot. Come on now. So I got the rear suspension all buttoned up, everything except welding these perches on, which I'm gonna do while it's in the air. But I wanted to get it in the air before I welded them on. I just tacked them on the corners. We gotta change these axles now. I made a mess already. But we're letting this drain for a minute, pull this cover off, and see what we got in there. Get those factory axles out. We got some Yukon axles over there. I'll get you a part number on that in just a minute, and slide them in. And we got some new drums. They're supposed to just slide right on to convert it to 5x5. So hang on just a second, I'll show you the part number for the Focus. 65 to 69, 5-lug rear conversion kit, drums, everything. So 30 spline, 515. I'm gonna get these old axles out, get these dudes slid in, and get this thing back together. Been a long day working on this thing. I'm ready to get it together so we can test drive and get it back to Mike so he can finish doing whatever he wants to do before turkey rod run. And then we got these old wide meat Larry Hoovers on here. We got cover put back on. We got the differential filled up with ADW90. Got the flip kit welded out. Got that painted. And it's ready. Come down and get this bed ready to go back on. But I don't know if it's going to happen today. I'm about shot for today. So luckily for y'all don't have to wait till tomorrow. Y'all just wait till the next 15 seconds of the video. Ain't that right?
Lucky for y'all.
So we're still out here cleaning along. We put the wheels on the rear. We put the bed on, and the inside of the wheel was hitting the inside of the fender well. So I dug around over here, and I had two 5-on-5 spacers. These are 5-on-5 both sides, 1.5 inches thick. I really wish I had a 1-inch one because that would be better, but that's what I had. That should be able to get him going, and then he can kind of play with it from there when he gets it back, and if he wants them farther in or farther out, he can play with them. But he's trying to leave to take this truck to Turkey Rod Run Thursday. Today's Monday, so we don't really have a whole lot of time to, wait on options and order stuff and let it get here. So we're gonna try this. I had to go buy some lug nuts. Bought some little. These are 1/2 by 20. The new axles and the new hubs in the front are 1/2 by 20. This truck used to be 7/16. So now everything is 1/2, and I didn't have any lug nuts to go with this. So got those. I already got that side spaced out. Bolt the side up, put the wheel back on, and stick the bed back on, see what we look like. So here's where I'm at. Michael told me when I talked to him last week, he's like, man, I just hope we don't run into any trouble, last minute and can't get it done. I said, no, we'll get it done. I'm literally on the last thing. Put the back wheels on, bolt the bed on. So I've had this set of wheel adapters for at least 2 years. I don't even remember who I bought them from. That's how long it's been. So I bolted the passenger side on, 1.5-inch wheel spacer. I went to bolt this side on, and I noticed I could see the inside of the inner lug nut more than I could on the other side. So I pulled my tape measure out. This was 1.25 inches. I was like, well, let me see what it looks like. If you can tell a big difference, then, we might do something about it. Then I bolt this on the truck. Then I go to put the wheel on and realize this adapter is 5-on-5 to 5-on-4 3/4. I can't even bolt the wheel on because somebody sold me 2 mismatched lug nuts or wheel spacers. Sometimes this stuff is frustrating. Sometimes. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to put this wheel on this hub without a spacer, and I'm gonna back that truck under that bed and sit it down and measure that passenger side and see how it fits and make sure everything's good there. So that way Michael can order 2 wheel spacers and hopefully they get here by Thursday. He said he would get up in the morning and drive to Summit and pick up wheel spacers. So he may do that. I don't know. But one way or another, we're going to get this before Thursday. So, all right. Next day, truck's still on lift, still here. Last night, the whole situation with the wheel spacer had me kind of frustrated. Get so close, almost to the end. Something like that happens. But it happens. Especially when you taking a bunch of parts that's supposed to fit, but if you've been doing this for a while, they don't always fit. So that was just a draw of bad luck. That was my fault because I've had them for 2 years and didn't realize they were mixed match. So I made a post in the group chat last night. Dan reminded me that he has a set of wheel spacers. So Dan saved the day. He hooked me up with some wheel spacers. I'm going to keep the one that I already have. It's 1.5 inches, just like Dan's was. The only difference in his and the one that I already have is the wheel studs in Dan's are 14 by 1.5. They're new, newer vehicle. This truck is 1/2 by 20 now. So I got with Ed at O'Reilly's this morning, and he got me some wheel studs on the way, some 1/2 by 20s that will fit the adapters or spacers. And they're supposed to be here about 5:30. It's about 5 o'clock right now. I just looked at my imaginary watch. Supposed to be here about 5:30. And as soon as they get here, we're gonna go pick up the studs and the other spacer that Dan's daughter Kira dropped off with him this morning, so he could check, get the measurements that he needed. Once those get here, we're gonna knock the studs in. We're gonna put them on, get the other tire on, and go cruise this thing a little bit. Make sure everything's good with it. Get it back to Mike so that he can go have exhaust put on it tomorrow, and just clean it up real good and get it ready for Turkey Rod Run. So if you are anywhere in the world and you've never been to Turkey Rod Run, it is in 2 days from right now. Thanksgiving Day, actually 2 days from right now. It'll probably be like happening whenever you see this video. Turkey Rod Run, Daytona Beach, Florida. Amazing time. Humongous swap meet, humongous car show. People everywhere. Everybody's out cruising, having a good time. I love Daytona. The only thing that sucks about Daytona now is the police have started hassling people a little bit more for doing burnouts and having fun. But if you go down there and you act like you're supposed to, you won't have no trouble. I've never got a ticket in Daytona, but I don't drive anything down there to spin a tire. So if I did, I'd probably be doing burnouts. Like that truck of Michael Brown's, I'd get in some trouble in that truck down there. But anyway, Mike's gonna get this back together cruising. If you're in Daytona, you see us. Me and my kid, we headed down Friday morning. KK had to work Friday, so as soon as she gets off, she's coming down. So if you see us somewhere this weekend, come up, say hey. We're friendly people, like we've said in videos before. We just people, we just people out here building trucks. Don't be scared to come up and talk to us. We'll stand there and talk to you for an hour, but if you do see us, come talk. I'm fixing to set this truck on the ground. I'm gonna show you what it looks like, final stance on it, and get it back to Mike. I appreciate y'all checking this video out. And if y'all want to see us record Daytona, our trip to Daytona, let us know. Comment it. Because if y'all act like y'all want to see it, I ain't recording it. I'm just going to go down there and have fun. So, thank y'all for watching. I just want to show you. This is with the wheel spacer. See my clearance up to the wheel tub there? All right, this side is without the wheel spacer. You can see. I just pulled it around in the yard a minute ago, like from right there. Pulled it out and pulled it back in. You can see it's already got some rub marks on the side of the fender well. It's definitely sitting on it. If he would have had a 275, it probably would have cleared. But this 315 is a little wider. And it didn't clear, so no problem. But in my opinion, which is my opinion, is exactly that. It's just an opinion. It looks better with the spacer because it fills the fender out. That's one of the issues that I have with my red square body over there. The back wheels they don't come out far enough to me. But I've never done anything about it. So, there you go. You see the difference. This is, like I say, this is a 20 by 10, 5.5 inches of back spacing. If it had 5 inches of back spacing, it would fit perfect. So if you're trying to pick out wheels for your truck, maybe that'll help you out. Got my studs, got my wheel spacer on. Looks freaking killer, man. I am super jealous of this one. I'd like to have that dude one day. Huge shout out to Ed Tharp at O'Reilly's in Baxley. He took a wheel spacer, knocked the stud out, mic'd it, found out everything I needed, ordered me some, had to order them from 2 different stores, got them to me in the same day, and got it done for Mike. Now, the best part of every build, let's go test drive this guy.